Right. So now, as a co-moderator, so you can lead the Hungarian topic.
That's me, co-moderator. Yes. So, in the name of all the Hungarian peoples, I am going to lead this topic about the birth promotion and the incentivization of starting families in Hungary. So, just going to ask how familiar you are with the topic. Have you seen the advertisements and
I saw the
billboard?
newspaper. I read the newspaper. The Prime Minister of Hungary, whose name is Viktor Orbán.
Viktor Orbán.
Knows that he gave us some birth promotion policy. Like if you have 4 children during your life,
Yes.
he can give us some reduction tax.
Yes,
For
a certain
entire
kind of tax if you have more than 4 children, or 4 and more than 4 children.
Yes.
So that is correct. 10 points to Gryffindor, and so to tell it from the Hungarian people's point of view, the propaganda is going quite strong this time. It has been around for 1 or 2 years. It's always been people that are not directly related with the government or the government party. These people trying to influence others through social media groups, Facebook, and lots of different advertisements just sprinkled around the Hungarian internet. To encourage people to have at least 2 children.
The Hungarian population getting decreased and decreased.
It does, yes.
2014 now is 9.8 million nowadays. So I think that this policy is related to this kind of trend. The population is getting decreased. So he want to make some benefit to the people who make it more births and then make more population for Hungary country, isn't it?
It is. But if you look at the bigger picture, this trend applies to all the other European countries, most of them at least. So it's the same in our neighboring countries, like in Serbia and Romania, and many other Scandinavian countries, for example. So, but I really don't know about Canada or the UK. Has there ever been such a propaganda like this, or such an initiative?
To have children?
Yes, to
boost the population, we have to just open doors and let people come in. This is what Canada's policy is. Is immigration.
Yeah, well, our
and
policy
turn
is
them
quite
into Canadians.
So you asked about Canada. I'm telling you, this is their policy. It's open for business.
Yeah, exactly.
Canada's
Now
open for
hiring.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's good or not, but this is their policy, and like people like my parents didn't love the idea at first because you want to keep what you have. You don't want to share with other people at first until you get to then you meet someone who's from Pakistan or Sri Lanka, and they go to your church and their kid goes to school with your kid. And then you kind of get used to them, and then it's not so bad. They're just like us. They're just people too, and that's how things start to change. And now in Canada, it's multi-ethnic, multicultural from coast to coast. This is kind of our thing. Maybe this is why people say Canadians are friendly. It's because we kind of have to be, because we have new people coming in all the time. It's good for tax dollars. It's good for the country. We have so much space. It's not being used. We're like the second biggest country by land in mass, right? So there's lots of places for people to go, and so this is where they send them. So when people come into the country for the first time, they don't get to choose Vancouver. They're placed for 3 years in places strategically that where people are leaving, and they're boosting the economy.
Well, in England, there are 70 million people packed into an area that, if you just talk about England, fits into Texas 4 times. So it's a bit crowded.
It's not much space at all to work
There's
with.
not a lot of space, and although there is plenty of countryside, all of the countryside is used. There is no wilderness in England, except maybe in Scotland, in the north of Scotland, you might find some areas. You still feel quite crowded. And there has been, until 2016, there was a policy of not encouraging immigration, but you don't have to encourage it into England. People always think of England as a place where they're going to do better and make more money. So they didn't need to encourage immigration, but now they're actually actively trying to discourage immigration. And the appalling Theresa May, when she was Home Office, she actually was trying to reduce immigration as much as she could by being as nasty as she could be to any immigrants she could be nasty to. And she's continued this happy policy as Prime Minister. And in the last 2 years, there's been a sort of nasty feel, there's been a turn of the culture, a very odd, which people who are familiar with immigrants, as you were saying, you get to know the people, you get to know, you know, the Pakistanis and the Africans and so on, and you realise it's no big deal. It's just some of them are nice, some of them are nasty, the same as anybody else. But the English historically have always hated foreigners. And it isn't racism exactly. It's like we hate all foreigners. If you don't speak like an English person, you're a foreigner. So there are third generation Caribbean people who are completely accepted because they sound English.
But third generation immigrants. Yes.
Second generation, they sound completely English. Unfortunately, in the last couple of years, the whole thing has kind of changed, and the people who have never met any immigrants or have never met them very often, they're saying, they're openly saying, no, we don't want more immigrants, we don't want any more. And Theresa May is trying to do what they want.
There's one movie that Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
Yeah, and I watched the movie that Freddie Mercury.
Yes.
Freddie Mercury, who was Englishman, but before
This
that
Pakistan.
originated from India, but he's staying childhood in the Zanzibar in Tanzania.
Zanzibar,
Tanzania. After that, he moved to UK. But they are also foreigners.
Zarathustra.
From UK point of view.
Immigration is usually a good thing, but it can be in the long term that it's a good thing. In the short term, there's no question it's difficult. It can be difficult.
The solution, because the solution to the lower birth rate might come from a more immigrant-friendly policy and more immigrant-friendly public opinion, but it is completely devastated due to that fear campaign, that fear propaganda campaign that he has launched last year. Last year, I think, that was these giant billboards showing not white-skinned people. I don't even know, they were not the actual illegal Syrian immigrants. It was just a completely different photo, and the big stop sign and stop immigrants.
I saw the signboard there.
They are the danger.
Stop.
Exactly. Just that.
Yeah.
On the bus station.
And
I saw that big
and it was a
during the
bunch
election,
of people just God knows where, waiting to cross a border, standing in front of the fences, something like that.
Yeah.
So, and now it's interesting how he's trying to counteract it with this birth promotion propaganda. His mass manipulation strategies are really interesting. In my opinion, they are outdated because most people are better informed. They know better than to believe to these propagandas. And why do you think he's worried? Because at this point he's clearly worried. But about the lower birth rates that are just getting lower, but the thing is that the same phenomenon can be observed in the adjacent countries, in most countries in the EU.
This is normal for a right-wing dictator. He's going, Ceausescu way. He doesn't. There is something in the right-wing frame of mind which really hates women, and doesn't want them to do anything except have babies. They want to control women, control their bodies. That's not even about birth promotion. They just want to control. It's very blatant.
Is that seemingly he doesn't have any interest in increasing the birth rates, and it also takes 20 years at least, as you mentioned. So what if he's just burning the money of the taxpayers in order to build his image?
Yes, probably.
So what other things you can think about besides this one than building his image? What else?
Well, that's what he's
I think
doing.
the birth incentive was a gift to his voters who are all in the countryside.
Yeah.
They're going to have 4 kids anyway. Maybe they were going to just have 2. Now they'll have 4. But that money is going to outside of Budapest. I think people don't have 4 kids in Budapest. They have that in the smaller towns. The smaller towns have bigger families.
And you have bigger houses, more space.
More
exactly.
living
So-
space. Yes, it does.
Then, in order to get through decreasing population trend, how Hungary government react this trend?
How can you reverse the trend?
Yeah.
Well, I'm afraid that the only answer is to stop educating women. It's very, very clear that every country where women are educated, birth rate goes down. Every country where women aren't educated, the birth rate sometimes goes down, but more usually goes up. So, sorry guys, you're going to have to stop educating women. And then they'll be at home and very happy to be baby machines. Because you've got to do something if you can't go out and get a job.
Maybe we can make them in the laboratory.
Yeah. That's probably on its way.
CRISPR, you can do anything with CRISPR.
You can do
right?
anything with CRISPR, and
Oh yeah.
there have been experiments set up. They've been working on artificial wombs, and apparently
can I
it's
get
easy.
in one, please? Tonight?
Well, no, but you could. You probably don't have a very long time to wait.
What is your opinion? How to reverse this trend?
How to reverse this?
If you have any ideas.
I think Patricia gave us very radical option.
Quite, yes.
Most problem in this society is that younger people who are living here, they don't want to stay. But not all, but yeah, some people they don't want to stay here. They want to leave. Important is that government should focus on more economic part in order to make us some more better GDP. Because of economic reason, people who are living here, they want to leave. Economy is the main reason.
You should stop stealing so much. Him and his mates should stop
Build
stealing
less
so much.
stadiums.
Build fewer stadiums.
Fewer. So,
Those stadiums are going to be fun when they're finished, though, aren't they?
yeah. Imagine having your kids be class in there. You know, and they just play football in this giant 40,000 seat stadium. How about that?
Yeah, it'd be great for them.